We all saw the signs, didn't we, when we were out and about, in lifts or on lorries. Maximum capacity, maximum weight. These are all indicators of how much that vehicle can cope with before it stops functioning properly or even becomes dangerous. Well, we all have our own maximum capacity, stress-wise, how much we can cope with before we stop functioning properly. We're doing fine, taking on stress, thinking we're coping fine, then one little thing happens and we just flip, we crack. This is the last straw. But as we all know, it was not the last straw that broke the camel's back, but all the other heavy loads that were already on the camel. And sometimes I wonder how many of those loads really needed to be there. We have a sort of a stress bucket where we put all these worries and thoughts and concerns whilst we mull over them before we actually deal with them. And at the moment there's an awful lot of stress coming our way, and that bucket is getting full up. And sometimes that bucket overflows. And that's when we lash out. We stop functioning properly. We start being nasty or unsupported to the people around us. Life at the moment is throwing an awful lot of stress at us. Lots of concerns and questions raised by the press. Like, is the government doing the testing properly? Is the government coping with the strategy that's happening? Are we going to get any more toilet roll? Well, these are all problems that we can't do anything about. Worrying about them is not going to change them. Many of the worries at the moment we have no control over at all. So thinking about them, worrying about them, or even spreading our concern to other people is not helping anyone. We cannot change the situation we're in. All we can do is change how we deal with it. Worrying about how the government's coping in the strategy is not helpful. We should be worrying about how we're going to cope in it. Finding positives around us and making the most of what love and support there is the best way that we're going to get through this. Remember, most of our buckets are close to overflowing, yours and the people around you. So if you see somebody getting to the edge of their bucket, give them some space, probably more than the 2 meters standard out in that the government has suggested to do, or even pay them a compliment, be nice to them. A random act of kindness can often take an awful lot out of that bucket and make it easier for all of us. Here's to empty buckets for all of us.